One of the things that I'm still confused about is how does a website actually push data? So what I've been doing recently is all polling. So for example, I'm the web page and I send out a request to the server, and I'm also the server, but from this perspective, I'm sending out a request to a server, okay, and then I get something back. Great, awesome. Facebook, okay, you're on Facebook and you have your web page open, you don't do anything, and then all of a sudden, bing, you get a notification. Someone sent you a message, right? Well, I don't imagine that your web browser is constantly just sending out a request. Hey, did I get a message? Did I get a message? Did I get a message? Right? Did I get a message from this person? Did I get a message from that person? Did I get, right? I don't think that's how it's doing it. So there must be some way for a server, because that's actually what I'm actually interested in, is from the server side, how does the server push instead of just responding, okay, well, great. I got a request, here's your data, right? Now it's a little bit different. It's, okay, well, I have this event that occurred and I need to give it to this person. Okay, well, how do you actually do that, right? How do you push something? So that's going to be what I am going to try to investigate today. So let's minimize myself and get started. So let's just ask the question. If I have a web server, what are the different methods I can use to push data to a user? And then I'm just going to make sure that it understands that I'm using this, whatever, Spring, Tomcat, Java, right? I am using Spring Boot, Java with Tomcat. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Make the brightness a little bit higher. All right. Okay, so here's okay, whatever. Okay. Server push techniques with Spring Boot and Tomcat. So server send events. So one-way push from server to browser. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm trying to do, right? Like, client initiates a connection. So the web browser is going to try to open a connection. Okay. And server keeps sending updates as events. All right, great for notifications, live scores, stock prices. Okay, there we go. That's kind of what I was talking about when I'm mentioning about, okay, well, I have Facebook open and it's just there. And then bing, I get a notification. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. Notifications, or I'm watching the stock market, right, and the graph goes up if the price changes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have this annotation, get mapping, value equals stream. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Is this, okay, so who was I talking to with these annotations? I forget if it was Spring Boot or Java. Okay, so then I'm passing in these parameters. I've never seen these parameters before. We'll have to look into what those are, but produces media.type, text event, stream value. Okay, so my immediate thought would be I would open up some kind of socket and then pipe data through there, but that I'm not sure if that's exactly what's going on here. Map, sequence. Okay. Requires Spring Boot starter Webflux. Okay, so that will just be something in our, where'd it go? Palm file. Where is it? Right there. Okay. Oh, right. And last time we made the microservice architecture, so we actually have two Palm files. This is one microservice, and then this is another microservice. Okay. Kind of remembering where I was last week. Oh, WebSockets. Hey, I called it, huh? Okay, so WebSockets, full duplex communication. Okay, so this is the first method was just I'm able to send data one way from the server to the client. Okay, WebSockets are bidirectional, so you're able to go back and forth. Okay. Ideal for chats, collaborative apps, games. Okay, that makes sense. When you need data to go in two ways, this one is more just like streaming. I send it to you. Although, is this how like YouTube would be done? I don't think this is how YouTube would be streaming, right? Like that's another interesting question. I'm not going to be asking it today. Yeah, how does like a video? How do you get a video? It's a good question, actually. Okay, but it's not today's question. Okay, so const new okay, well this looks more reasonable right here. So I'm just opening up this socket at this IP address, this not socket, this port. There we go, and at this endpoint. Okay, and then socket on message event console log. Wait, hold on. Is this JavaScript? Yep. I thought I was using Java. Okay. Long polling. Client sends request. Server holds it until data is ready. Okay. Server responds. Client requests. Okay. HTTP 2 push. Limited to Tomcat. Let's see if there's a way to do the WebSocket in Java. Is there a way to do the WebSockets in Java? The example you gave was in JavaScript. Okay. So I'm going to be adding which microservice do I want to have this? Or we could create a new microservice. What do we think about that? Let's do that. Let's come here. Let's go com example live updates. Okay. Live updates. And then not user profiles, but what do I want to call this? Live data? I have no idea. Live data. Okay. So now generate. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Live data here. Okay. All right, and then we should be able to just plug it into here, I believe. This also gives me kind of good practice because I was just working last week on getting microservices to work, and oh my goodness, I was struggling with that. Okay. Let's just put that here. Please just work. Please just work. Okay. Demo to live data. I do not want it in that location though. Let's see. So I am going to delete it when I see it. Remove folder from. Okay. Okay. So I need to open up that location. So let's see, I will go to, okay, so I have here, and now let me try to run this. Okay, hopefully this was not a mistake to try to do this, but let's see, cd going up, ls, cd into live data. Okay, now I have this. Can I run this? So spring boot run. No, it was what is Maven? Okay, M V N W, and then spring boot run. Okay, come on, just go. Okay. So now this is a microservice. Okay, yes. Now I want to get it to do a web page, right? So what do I need to do? I need to come to its, I need to essentially kind of copy this server application, source, main, Java, controller. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then I have all of these, and I have like all of these controllers, right? Do I care about service anymore? I don't know. But I have these controllers. Okay, so I need to go into all of this. Source, main, Java. Here, right? Com example demo. Okay, right here. And then is it inside this? Okay, that's wonderful. Yeah, it's inside of this level. I create another folder called controllers. Okay, right? Controller, singular. Controller, okay. And now inside of controller, I have a document, and I don't know what we want to call it. Let's call it data feed. .java. I'm kind of going out on a limb right now because I don't know if this is even gonna work. Okay. Oh, I have to do that, like tell it who it is. So package, and then do I start here? Let me. This tripped me up last time. So it's from the com. Okay. So I come here. Com dot example. Okay, dot live updates, live data. Happy? Oh, I hope I do not have the same problem that I had last time, because this was one of those problems. This was one of the problems. Com example, user profile, controller, right? Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Live updates, live data, controller. Okay. No. com example user profiles controller. This one is com here, example here, live updates. Hold on. Com example live updates, live data controller. Well, I'm gonna say that it's accurate, and maybe it's just tricking me, because that's all. That's that'll work out. Okay. Good. Okay, well. So I have this. Okay. Com example demo controller. Yeah. And now I want a REST controller. Let me go see what it's telling me back here. So I need to update my POM file, okay? Come here and I get my POM and I put this in my dependencies, okay? Unless I already have it, Spring Boot Starter WebSocket. Okay, well I wouldn't have that. Okay, so I do this. There we go. Now, set up custom endpoints. Okay. So, create a WebSocket config class. Okay. For steps 2 and 3, can you tell me which files those should go into? Okay. Com example demo config. Com example data config. Okay. So this should be in configuration. On this level. So I'm going to have another page. No, sorry. I'm going to have another folder, which is called config. Okay. Now inside of config, I am going to have this code. And the folder is going to be called this, okay. So inside of config, I'm going to have a file called WebSocket config.java. Okay. So now I should be able to go like this. Paste you in, and this is going to be wrong. That's fine because it is. We start at com, yes. Then we go to example, and I'm not going to press enter. I'm just going to write it out. live updates, okay, dot live data dot config. Yes, correct. Okay. Okay, well, let's ignore that because that's always fun. Oh boy. Okay. So this one, demo, and I'm gonna have a thing called here, which is called WebSocket, okay. Okay, like this, and then inside of this, I'm gonna have something called my web socket handler, okay, .java, okay, and then inside of that I'm going to have this, okay, and then the package is going to be com.example.live updates live data .web socket. Okay. There we go. Awesome. So now we have all of this. Okay. Com example demo with that. Great. So let's press go and watch it fail. So this is great. This is awesome. Okay. Yeah. Live updates, live data. Okay, I'm gonna come here. And then it does not like my package. What is the problem? Okay. I don't know if it's going to be smart enough to actually parse that. In your case here. Source, main, Java. Okay, let's go through this line by line. Source, main, Java, com, example, live updates, live data, config. Okay. Well, let's go back to that comment that I got. So let me pull up the comment. Okay. So here it is, right? You can't really read it, but anyways, that's the comment. I'm gonna read it. Okay, so the issue lies with your controller. Profile controller Java. Your package name is wrong. It currently says main Java calm example user profile controller, but it should be calm example user profile. Okay, so as far as I know, it should start with the group package name that you set in Spring Initializer, which in your case is based on episode 12, calm example user profile. So let me go to the Spring Boot here, okay? Group is calm, yes? That's what I'm doing up there. Okay? So, interesting. So, this is like the namespace, right? But I never really dealt with namespaces in. I remember like one course or one like lecture in like C for like C++ about namespace. And that was what, 10 years ago. So I'm like I can't. I promptly never used a namespace ever again in my entire life, and now Java is back, or Java is here, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? I kind of knew this was a bad idea. I should have just done it without trying to. I was too ambitious, you see. I was way too ambitious. I was like, I'm gonna tack on what I learned from or apparently didn't learn from the last week's episodes, and I'm gonna do it in a microservice architecture, and then that was obviously a mistake. Live data. I mean, it's right there. I don't know how to. Okay, so pwd here. cd into source. Hold on. cd into main, then into Java, then into calm, then into example, then into live updates, then into live data, then up to config. Okay, whoops. Config here. Okay, so ls. I'm going to do pwd here and then ls there. Now I'm going to copy and paste this. Okay. Typos in package declaration. .config live updates.config. I don't think I have a configuration file, do I? com example. So group ID is com example. Yeah. If your IDE, well, I'm not using IntelliJ or Eclipse, so that doesn't matter. Let's okay, let's try this Maven clean. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Live updates. Okay, this is gonna be a while. CD. Oh, hold on. I think the Apple Assistant heard me saying CD and thought that it was her name. Not you, other Apple Assistant. Okay. Actually, I want it to be there, here, right? Okay, so now what do? I do Maven W spring boot run. Oh no, not that one. It's gonna fail. Okay, I wanted to do this one, the Maven clean, right? Let me, yeah, just copy all these. It doesn't matter. Okay. From the line in my config. I don't think I have a config. Where would it be? Would Spring Boot initializer have created it? I can go into here. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, fine, whatever. Okay. Here is my palm. Yes, but okay. Well, that was kind of unfortunate. I was too ambitious. Let's take this. Let's delete it. let's get rid of it, right? It doesn't matter. And what we're going to do is I am going to go into the next video and not do a microservice. I am going to do maybe one that already works. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Yes. I really am believing that Java is the worst thing to have ever been created in terms of programming. Like, this language is horrific. I hate this language so much. It is awful. Okay, so anyways, we are not going to do this live data microservice. That was a dumb idea on my part. I apologize. I don't know how long this video is. I don't have a timer when I'm filming, but I'm guessing it was around 40 minutes, probably 30 to 40 minutes. So kind of wasted that time. Oof. Okay, never mind. Throw that away, and I will be back very soon with another video where I'm going to try to figure out how to push data. All right. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I will see you in a very short while.